everybody? Welcome back to the Lions Den. We're going to go over our past game and our game we got coming up. You know, we've had a good season. You know, we've caught on, got everything rolling right now. But let's look at some highlights from last week's game. Looks like it's going to be a good pass by Charles Childers.
You know, this one, the throw is actually a little bit behind lane, but it really set him up for a good screen. Even though, you know, it wasn't a screen pass, it kind of ended up that way. And, you know, it was about to be just maybe a 5-yard gain, ended up being a big touchdown play.
No, it's a punt return, a big one that Lane had.
Yeah. He played this perfect.
They're trying to kick it out of bounds.
They're trying to kick it out of bounds here. They didn't want him to return it, and he just made a great play. He runs down the sideline. We got a lot of people blocking for him, working hard, and he's made it through those last two, and there he goes.
This looks like Carlos. Oh, this is the interception Carlos had. It's a pretty good interception.
Him doing his job, dropping into coverage, being where he's supposed to be, and makes a great play.
Yeah, that was a good turning point right there. You know, that's when we started really putting it on him. Oh, it's Hudson's touchdown pass to Lane.
It's always fun whenever Hudson goes in and just throws one ball and it's a touchdown.
I was laughing.
Everybody gets pretty pumped up.
Because when he dropped back and you seen him throw it, I was like, man.
We had actually run that play before and we didn't hit Lane on it, so I told Hudson if he goes in, make sure you throw it to Lane.
It's a big run.
Big run. You know, DLG's done an awesome job for us this year running the ball, and with this game, he eclipsed 1,000 yards, which is a big deal for a running back. Great for our O-line, too. It shows what they've been able to do.
Right
there he is, running in after that big run, gets the score.
Yeah, it seemed like everything was clicking this Friday night. Offense, defense, special teams, everything was clicking.
You know, and here's a run by Logan Fay, and you know, we didn't know it at the time. If we did, we would have tried to give it to him again, but he almost had 100 yards on the night as well, and wish we would have given it to him one more time.
This is Hernan. You know, if Hernan, you know, he runs hard, and he's a big kid, and he looks hard to take down.
He does, and he's been begging to run the ball since day one, and I hadn't let him once, and so I finally gave in, let him do it, and then he almost, you know, takes it to the house.
Yeah, it seemed like a great game. You know, defense, you shut them down. Offense, you couldn't go wrong. Passing, running, everything was working. You know, it was weird because we actually received the ball this game. Usually our defense takes the field first. So I was hoping it wouldn't throw us off, but it didn't. You know, I'm superstitious about things.
Yeah.
But
I'm very superstitious about that, and whenever it happened, I got a bad feeling in my gut instantly. And then we go 3 and out the first series, and I was just like, that's, you know, everything that I feared was happening.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about on the broadcast. You know, I was like, it's the first, you know, we're getting the ball, and it's been a long time since we received the ball to start the game, and I'm superstitious, so I didn't say nothing, but that's what I was thinking in my head.
Me too.
Yeah, and at the same time, I just talked to the kids before we went out about, you know, we took pride in playing defense first. We set the tone. We were stopping teams early on, but then the weeks prior to that, we were giving up touchdowns first drive. So gave them a big old speech about if we're defense first, you better not let them in the end zone. So, but it all worked out.
Yeah, and it seemed like, you know, the linebackers, they always play good, but man, the defensive line was on top of them. It's like they never gave them a break and run and pass the whole time. They were just constantly after them.
Yeah, that's our mindset is just, you know, they know they're sacrificial lamb in a sense. Like they take care of their gap, they build that wall, that way everybody else is free to roam and make plays, and they did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, we had some interceptions, almost had more interceptions. They were hard catches, they knocked them down, but
yeah,
you know, they're a little bit lower, could have intercepted them. And then our offense, I mean, it just seemed like everything was working, whatever way, you know, we ran it, passed it, whatever. It seemed like everything was clicking, everything was communicating. And we were laughing about Hudson coming in also and throwing a touchdown pass and then just walking.
He comes off and he tells me, he's like, see, he just put me in and it's a touchdown.
Yeah, he always says that.
Yeah.
If you need a touchdown, just put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes you laugh because when I had Hudson when he was younger, and he didn't really talk much. He was real shy. And to see him kind of coming out of his shell is funny. To see him talk stuff about stuff. So this week we're gonna play Mason. This is a big game, in the district and stuff. And they run the same kind of offense and defense, or is it a little different, or something we hadn't seen?
Defensively, it'll be a little bit different than what we've had the past few weeks. We've been going against a 3-3 stack the past few weeks, and they can actually get in that some, but they're mainly a 3-4 defense, base 3-4. Pretty similar to us as far as what we do defensively. But that's something they've done for a long time, and they're very, very disciplined at it. They, just Mason's a powerhouse, so they're going to do the things they do because they do it well. Offensively, though, a little bit different than what we've seen.
Yeah, offensively they're more double tight, 2 tight end sets. They like to run 3 back, 2 back. They'll get into gun when they want to throw the ball, but it's still out of double tight. Do a lot of heavy. They take a lot of pride in being able to run the ball on people. They, their winning drive against Johnson City was 99.5-yard drive, and it was almost all run. So they ran the ball all the way down the field. So take a lot of pride in it, and we take a lot of pride in stopping the run. That's always our goal, is stop the run. So it's going to be a battle of the trenches.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fight.
So I was about to say, we're real good. I mean, we've stopped the run all year long, just,
Yeah.
and it seems like we've just gotten better and better through the season went. So it is going to be a good battle. That's what I figured. I figured it's going to be a good battle every game, even if we've lost them. The one they've been close, and just minimal mistakes. Seems like the kids have got their stuff together, and it's coming in this big game, and so this would kind of determine playoff pictures too.
It'll be, a big deal. If we win, we'll share the district championship or the district title. It'll be a 3-way with us, Mason and Johnson City. We'll all be co-champs. As far as playoffs go, if we beat Mason by 10 or more, we'll get second. Johnson City will be first. We'll get second, Mason third. And so we'll play the loser of Ganado and Flatonia in the first round. If we win by 9 points or less or lose, we'll get third, and we'll play the winner of Ganado and Flatonia.
So either way, we're playing.
I just say beat Mason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People ask me, and I'm like, just beat Mason. I don't know the
Yeah.
Yeah.
the term.
Yeah, our goal is to beat Mason, be district champs, even if it's co-champs.
Yeah.
It's that kind of stings a little bit, but it's better than nothing, I
Yeah.
guess.
And I figure this is going to be a great game. My dad calls, he watches the broadcast, and we were talking about it. And he was talking about, he kept up, Johnson City score, and with Mason, he's like, it's going to be a good game. I was like, yeah, it's going to be a real good game. And, we'll see what happens. But, it's good when you're confident, as a fan, you go out there and I've seen Mason before. I just didn't know if they still ran the ball like they did.
Mm-hmm.
So in the back of my mind, the whole time we're playing, I'm thinking, man, Mason runs the ball a lot. We like to stop it. It's going to be a good game. I feel like we can run our normal style, but they're going to have to come up with some trick plays. They're going to have to come up with something. So I feel like they're going to be hitting a wall a lot of times.
Yeah.
And,
We hope so.
that gets people thinking and make mistakes. That's, you want to see them.
That's what I was gonna say. It's gonna just kind of come down to that, mistakes. Limit the mistakes, and just give yourself a fighting chance.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing I noticed about last game is out in Lara and Robert Barrera, I seen a lot of big blocks. There's some outside runs there, and man, there's a couple of times they laid some people out.
If you've ever seen Robert run the 100-meter dash,
Yeah.
the kid can move for his size.
yeah.
So if he catches you pulling around there, releasing it outside, you better get out of that
Yeah.
train's way. Cause
There's one, he's coming around the edge, he laid this, he just moved him out like boom, and then I seen Alton, this pancake guy just put him down, or Alton, I don't ever say his name
Alton.
right. Alton. I always say Alton on him.
It's all right.
But yeah, and
We'll
just,
tell Doc. I think, and really, I think we need to give some credit to y'all, you and Ruben, because at the beginning of the year, y'all pushed Coach Knippa on the pancake syrup. And those linemen, it means a lot to those linemen because they get a pancake sticker, they get the syrup and all that, and they are trying to pancake people every
that's
game.
awesome.
But I've started noticing that each week that they're getting more and more. They're arguing about who had it and when, and they're telling Coach Knippa, watch the film. I got one here and here, etc. So it's become a big deal, and it's really helped our O-line. I mean, I think they're just more aggressive because they want
Yeah.
those pancake blocks.
Yeah, and I like seeing it. You know, there's a lot of times I see stuff, and you know, people may not see it, but we see it when we're watching broadcast. And Ruben always talks about the syrup every single game. He talks about Coach Kniff and the syrup, and you know, we'll see some of the blocks and stuff. You know, everybody's watching the ball. We're kind of watching everything going on, and you'll see, you know, the offensive line do something awesome, or the defensive line. You know, the people don't give them enough credit for some of the stuff they do. There's times where they were running the ball Friday night. No one touched them as they went through the line of scrimmage. You know, Matt Delagarza's making moves in the secondary before they know what's going on. And that's what I feel like our offensive line, defensive line have really picked it up and push harder. I just see them hitting people harder now. That's what it seems like to me. I mean, they're laying people on the ground.
Right. They're not just trying to block someone. They're trying
Yeah.
to put them on the ground.
Yeah,
It's made a
they're-
big difference.
I always tell them, like, well, I coach the defensive line, but you know that it's the same kids that play defense and offense, and I always tell them our success lies on them. You know, we're as good as our offensive line and defensive line. So, you know, they may not get a lot of the recognition, but the wins and losses category, a lot of it, you know,
Yeah.
is on them.
Because I mean, on offense, it goes off people's play calling. Offensive line is doing a heck of a job. You're going to do something else. In defensive line, you're putting all that pressure on their offense. They got to call different plays. They got to adjust to that. And you see it every Friday night. Y'all make certain adjustments. I don't know if they're called. I'm not going to say them, but you can see different stuff. And you can see the coaches, because they'll call a play, and you can tell the team hasn't ran it that much. They'll fumble, or the running back will run the opposite way and stuff like that. And I see y'all's adjustment. I think they're awesome. You know, I don't remember other coaches. You know, they know a lot more than me about this stuff. But when I see them, I don't see them until the play develops and stuff like that. And I think it's awesome. I think it's gonna be a great game against Mason. You know, Ozona has ruined their season before.
Yes.
When they
It's
were
going to be a
undefeated.
battle, and we're going to give them everything we got for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a great season. Do they got big running backs? Just something quick.
Yeah, they're not too big. They're just fast.
They're not as big as last year
I mean,
overall.
Yeah.
Their fullbacks too they're both under 5'9". They're
Okay.
just fast, and they'll go hard. They'll hit you. So, the main tailback's just a fast, quick, shifty kid. So,
Yeah, we're pretty quick.
quarterback's
sides.
pretty good. He's not quite the quarterback they had last year, but he's pretty good. Pretty good throwing the ball, and if he has to run, he can maneuver around. So,
Yeah. Well,
pretty solid, just big old offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. You know, we've played against bigger offensive linemen, and I feel like our guys have a lot more endurance, because it seems like, man, it doesn't matter how good they are. You see those guys wearing down, and our guys are the same energy that they started with in the same, the second half.
Mhm.
It just seems like they wear on teams, especially in the trenches. You see that a lot, because I feel like, those offensive line, defensive linemen get tired, and ours don't, or not as tired. And you see them when they pull in or something, and not as fast, and our guys are just slicing through there. That's one I'd always tell my dad, that Ozona has a lot of endurance. Like, they will wear people down. I was like, they just constant. And then I was like, you'll notice in the second half, they'll really start making big plays and stuff, because they wear on people.
Yes, sir.
It's one of the big things, I think.
Some of that is just we just constantly preach to our kids to be physical. If we can wear a team down physically,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And one kid told me he was tired in the fourth quarter of a game, and he got chewed out. So I
Yeah.
think they're a little scared to say they're tired.
Well, and I noticed one thing is, if they don't, if you don't jump out on a quick lead against Ozona, it's bad, because we're going to bring it. It's going to get stronger as the game goes on. So once we get ahead of you, it's very hard for, it's, stuff like that, because we're just going to get better and better as the game goes on. And you can tell that. Me and Ruben talk about that at halftime, because when they come back, it seems like it's just a new game, and
Mm-hmm.
they come out same energy, same everything, and they just wear on people. I think, I talk about that every broadcast, how we just wear big teams down, because our kids are strong. They're just as strong as other kids, but they're just a little smaller and more energy. And that's the one big thing. When I was in school, everybody talked about endurance, and I remember we had real big linemen on school, and they'd be tired of switching them in and out all the time. And these guys, the lines, they just keep going, and wear on people. That's one thing I'm proud about Ozona. I always talk about is they always, they just beat people down.
Yes, sir.
And it's gonna be a good game Friday. But so we're playing Mason. If y'all can't watch, come out to the broadcast. It's gonna be a great game. Cheer on the lines if you can. Go to the game. It'd be awesome. Wear white. We'll be playing the Mason Punchers. If you're not gonna be able to make it, watch the broadcast and let us know you're watching. I want to thank our sponsors: Bunger Real Estate, Ozona Bank, First Baptist Church of Ozona, Tom Thorpe Transport, and West Texas Rehab. Thank y'all for what y'all do.